Hello, welcome to Thirsty Thursdays with a Therapist. My name is Jaleisha Gatling. I'm a licensed marriage family therapist here in New York City, working with couples to help them unpack the baggage that gets in between their relationships. Today, I want to talk about willingness, the importance of noticing and recognizing your partner's willingness and effort. And I am kind of segueing from our last Thirsty Thursdays where we talked about the 5 love languages and how to work towards being able to speak your partner's love language and vice versa, and navigating when it's really difficult to do that because perhaps your partner's primary love language, touch, is not very natural for you. And so I wanted to continue talking about the importance of recognizing your partner's efforts to try something. Agreeing to, okay, I want to address this concern that you have, or I want to help you out, or I want to support you. And so I'm agreeing to do this thing and try this thing. We sometimes can get caught up in focusing on that desired outcome or result. And if it doesn't look exactly how we wanted it to look, expected it to look, or how we would have done it, we sometimes can just completely scrap the effort altogether, which can really be bad for the relationship because it can feel like your partner doesn't do anything right. I mean, it can bring about all these sort of feelings. And so there's something to recognizing and acknowledging the effort, not just for your partner, not necessarily even you verbalizing it to them, but for yourself. Like noting, you know what, we made this agreement, I made this request, my partner attempted to do it. And I think leading with what did go well, or just appreciating the effort and the try of it, can be a really nice opening and soft segue into, I love that you did XYZ, but I would love it if you had added this ingredient that I had on the grocery list, because it was on the list, but you didn't get it, right? Don't say all that at the end. But I say all that to say that it's really important that you don't lose sight of the effort and the willingness to try and address a concern through behaviors or actions that you and your partner talk through. And so we're talking about when you have agreed you were going to try something, okay? I'm not talking about when you say, hey, I really need you to pick up your socks off the floor and clean up after yourself, and your partner's like, no, they're not agreeing to anything. They're like, that's different. I'm talking about when you've sat down, had a conversation, and your partner says, I'll try. Or you say, I'm going to try to do better. Get specific with what try means, because that can alleviate a lot of assumptions and expectations. It can clear some stuff up. So if you and your partner are discussing how you really need to be better about budgeting and that you've been overspending, and you say, you know what, honey, you're right, I'm gonna try to be better about money. That is not the end of the conversation, okay? If you leave off with that, you are really leaving a lot of space and potential for some drama down the road, because you haven't been clear. What does that mean? What does that mean? I'm gonna try to be better with my money. No, what does that mean? Does that mean that you're not eating out for lunch every day at work? Does that mean that you're bringing your lunch? Does that mean that you're cutting back on your weekly manicures? Does that mean that what does that mean? What are you letting go of? Or what does that look like? Like, I think coming up with some concrete things can really make a big difference, because let's say that you cut back on eating out every day for lunch to 2 days a week. And let's say your partner doesn't really see a big difference in the budget and the money that's in the bank account. And they're like, what? You're not doing anything. Well, you never talked about what you would actually cut back on or try to cut back on, And so things like that. I mean, it's great when your partner's like, yeah, I need to work on this. Yeah, I need to step it up and help out around the house a bit more. But what does that look like? So I think that going hand in hand with being able to recognize the efforts, you need to know what the efforts are, like what they look like, because you two could be walking around with 2 completely different ideas of what that looks like. So I'll end on that note. This is a pretty short Thirsty Thursdays, nice and simple, but recognizing your partner's efforts, recognizing those bids to connect with you in your love language that maybe they don't speak so easily. You know, we really need to pay attention to those things and look for what's going well. Look for what's going well. So often we are hyper aware of what is not going right, what didn't get done, what was forgotten, what could have been done better, and not what's going well. What moved forward a little bit? Like what did I enjoy about my partner this week? What was the highlight of our relationship of the day? I mean, really expand that out. We're always looking for what's not going well and we lose sight of what is. So I will leave you on that. Let me know what's going well in your life in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time on Thirsty Thursdays with a Therapist.